Well, I've been saying that I was going to show people um, about how to make stoneware bottles, and being a potter, I can make them. Now, in front of you are three old historic stoneware bottles, but there is one amongst them that is not old at all. Actually, it was made by me. Now, you can look at them real closely and see and look and see which one of these bottles is a reproduction. You take a good look at them because we're going to look around and look at them as close as possible. Have you guessed which one it is yet? Now, I bet a lot of you probably guessed this one, but you'd be wrong. This is another. All these bottles I have dug, and they're all well over 100 years old. It's this bottle that is the one that is a reproduction, and one that I have made. Now, this bottle has a strange look compared to most of the bottles that I make because it was in an overfired kiln, so it really vitrified. It's stoneware, and it probably fired up to cone 10 when it should have come to cone 6. That is a reproduction, but it can pass for an antique because of the technique I used. Now, these bottles here were all made, fashioned on the wheel, and they have a different, all are pretty different. This here is a New England ale bottle, most likely a beer, I would assume from the 1850s. Big chip off the bottom there. This was dug amongst several that I found in a woods. They were packed with these things. They were broken, most of them, but a few of them came out in a decent shape. This one was found out of a dredge from right here in the city. They were digging a pipeline, and a whole bunch of stuff came out. Two of these came out, and they're very plain. This one has a chip in the lip. The other one I found doesn't. But very plain. I would say it was a soda water, or just a mineral water. And this was probably a glue or a mucilage. These little small bottles. Sometimes it could have ink in them, but I don't see any presence of ink. It could also have been some kind of acid, which in utility bottles they used quite a bit, and they had a paper label. Now, this is what we're going to do today and show you just how I proceed in making a bottle that can pass even so faintly as an antique. So let me get to it, and we're going to start with the prep first. Now, I prepped my clay, so now it's ready to go. We're going to throw this into a bottle shape. Now, I haven't done this yet in real time, real life, but we're going to see if we can do this. Okay, turn your wheel on, get your hands wet, and get this going. You center your piece of clay. All this technical stuff that I'm talking about, for those who are not real keen on wanting to learn about pottery and just want to see how I make the bottles, I'm going to skip the formalities on how this is done. Just watch what I do. You'll get the idea. Now, I centered my clay, which means it is perfectly balanced. Now I'm going to open it up. You might not see it because it's behind my hand, but I'm putting my finger in the middle to open up the center of this ball of clay. And now the clay is opened. Let's see if I'm still running. Yeah, I'm still going. Okay. Now that I've opened it, I'm going to slow the wheel down a little bit. Need a little bit more gas here. And now we're going to start making the shape of the bottle. And I'm just going to make a plain bottle. Generally, the style of bottle I make is considered ginger beer. Ginger beer became very popular in the 19th century. In England, it was almost a staple, and they used ginger a lot more in England than they used here in the States. Cola was a big thing here. Cola became all the rage. I'm not a cola drinker, so I don't persuade that. I don't support that rhetoric. But hey, that's to each your own, right? Anyway, getting back to the ginger bottle, I'm throwing a cylinder. That's a the beginning shape of this bottle. Do I have this going? Yeah. Okay, now once I have the basic shape, I have to shape it, and that calls for some specialized tools, and that is the old broken credit card. Here's the specialized tools, folks. Traditionally, somebody would have used a wooden rib, and I have them. I just can't find the damn thing. It's around here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Oh, maybe I felt it and I found it. I did find it. There it is. The rib. This is what's used to straighten out the sides of this thing. Now there's a dip in there, but as you can see, it's pretty straight. Okay, now here's the hard part. This is the part that gets most people, and it's the part that will mess most people up. Get some water out of there. And that's necking in. Now, to do that, I'm going to slow down even further. Okay, so now we're going to neck in. You can see it already has a different shape. I'm working in the shoulder and the neck. This will automatically start as I gently squeeze in. The clay does two things. It gets thick and it gets thin all at the same time. When I pull the neck, I will end up now this is just an experiment. It's not really, it's just for illustration. And you can see there's a shape coming on, but doesn't quite look like a bottle yet, but we're getting there. It's still going, so we're good. We're good. Here we go. Now it's starting to look more like a bottle, doesn't it? Now when I want to make like a blob top bottle, I'm not going to thin the top out so much, the lip. What I'm going to do is, sorry about the arm there, See, the water accumulates at the bottom. You don't want the water in the bottle. It will keep the bottom too wet, and as the object dries, it won't dry evenly, and you'll end up with a crack at the bottom. And there is your shape for your bottle. Now it looks a little wonky, and it is because I knocked it out of center. But for illustration purposes, we're just going to cut the wonkiness out of it. And when you see ginger beer bottles, they usually have a short, stubby neck. This one has to get even smaller. And then we'll use a rib to define the shoulder. These were measured generally to 6 ounce, and the body was shaped in one way, and this was shaped, the neck area was shaped in another way, just so you would know that the bottom of your bottle was measuring what you need to know. And there you have a bottle of historic proportions. Not really, but pretty much that's how it's done. So, I'm going to stop the wheel, and there you have it. I want to thank you for watching me do this today. I want to thank you for holding long enough to watch the beginning and the end of this. So there you go, the way you can make a historic bottle out of clay. Not as easy as it looks, but with practice, I hope they keep making clay bottles. It'd be nice to have some new products put in. There are some modern bottles I will show you that are still made of clay, and I'll go through them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.